it was written by a Welsh rock musician named John David. And I'm just going to read a quote about his inspiration for the piece, for writing the piece. The inspiration for New Day was quite simple. I had just had a major blow in my personal life and was sitting alone late at night on the settee, feeling very low, and watching an ominous story on the news about the very real possibility of nuclear war. I started singing to the hopefully soon-to-arrive new day like it was an entity that would rescue me from the depths. If the sun came up and the birds started singing as usual, then I could believe that it really was the new day in which life would go on and in which hope would survive. The tune and the words popped into my head at the same time, and it was all written in about 10 minutes. Amazing. Which is why, to me at least, it's not perfect. But I didn't feel I had the right to change anything. Composers, you know. And then this tune was arranged by Peter Knight for the Kingsingers, and this is the Kingsingers arrangement of You Are the New Day.
You are the new day.
Is an arrangement of the folk song 900 Miles. And I'm just going to read this lovely little bit that I was reading about folk songs and about the context of folk songs. The text for this folk song implies a story. The narrator tells the listener what is happening at the moment the song begins. I'm walking on this track, and suggests an emotional state. I've got tears in my eyes, without disclosing what led to this moment. The singer must imagine what might have displaced the speaker to a location 900 miles from home. Wayward travelers of the railroad era were sometimes known as hobos, a term derived from the phrase homeward bound. In an article that appears in a transcription of this folk song, Cisco Houston writes, "A folk song is a way of singing out the news of a wedding, a murder, good times or bad times, good people and bad people. It's one way of making a record of memorable things that happened. In the days before newspapers, and among people who couldn't have read them, even if they existed, the folk song was kind of a chronicle and running commentary on the times. Many of them have lived for years, while nothing is more dead than yesterday's newspapers. The folk songs and story ballads were not the most accurate kind of history, of course, but once the event, whatever it was, had been recorded, generations of singers went on elaborating and changing the song, smoothing it out or shaping it up to suit their own ideas of how the event might have happened. Often, the event which started the song was blurred or lost as time went on. The song then took on its own independent life. Aristotle said in his Poetics that art is truer than history because it shows what should have happened rather than simply what did happen." So this arrangement is by Renee Clausen, who did the arrangement of Set Me as a Seal in our first half of the program. And it's a lovely arrangement that features our pianist, Larry Pitts. next piece is called Run, Mary, Run, and it is an arrangement of an African-American ring shout. A ring shout is a sacred African-derived dance with singing that originated during times of slavery and continues to this day in the Gullah community of the Georgia Sea Islands. The dance is a counterclockwise dance with a strong rhythm, sustained by the shuffling of feet, hand clapping, and often a pounding stick. The ritual could send participants into an ecstatic, trance-like state that may last for hours. And the text of this particular ring shout is, as many are, based on gaining freedom from slavery. And the arranger of this particular one also hears it as a song espousing our fundamental human rights. And we have Helen Kimber, Laura Arrington, and Shannon West with solos, and Travis Strong on the djembe. Before we do this next piece, I don't know if you heard earlier that we did not exist as a group until less than 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Kind of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, this week and last week, for less than 3 hours a night. So intensive. Some people are working their full days and then coming to rehearsal. And it's been a pretty amazing experience. And this group has just been phenomenal in terms of just, I mean, in many ways, but just super dedicated. I mean, teachers, up at God knows what time in the morning, and then coming right to rehearsal, not just teachers, everybody, doing their full-time thing, and then coming to rehearsal, and no complaints, and we remember those hot days a couple of days ago? It was in here, even hotter than it is now. So, but everybody's just been amazing, so this has been super fun. So, this next piece is a piece by a composer named Jake Runestad, and who is a composer in Minnesota and is becoming very popular amongst choirs of all ages. He uses really imaginative texts, and this piece it deals with kind of a rather difficult subject, but really provides some hope. So bear with me as I tell you a little bit about the piece. So I'm just going to read you what he says about the story of this piece. Please stay. In 2013, suicide took the lives of 41,149 people in the USA alone. Depression affects about 20 million people in the USA, 350 million worldwide. Mental health disorders are serious issues in our culture, and it is important that we have open conversation about their existence and that we show support to those who are battling them. To Write Love on Her Arms is a nonprofit movement dedicated to presenting hope and finding help for people struggling with depression, addiction, self-injury, and suicide. Their 2016 campaign for World Suicide Prevention Day was titled, "And So I Kept Living." Using the hashtag I Kept Living, thousands of individuals who battle depression shared their stories on Twitter as to why they chose to live over dying. And the composer read through and collected hundreds of tweets and used them to inspire the text for this work. Please Stay is an anthem for hope, an attempt to destigmatize mental illness and challenge all of us to support those who are battling depression and thoughts of suicide. So, and then the featured soloist is Cassie Moulton.
No, don't go, don't go.
Your last day be your last.
is by Mark Surratt, who's a Canadian composer and conductor. And he sets the poetry of Sarah Teasdale, who was an early 20th century American poet known for her romantic lyricism and clarity. In the poem Barter, she promotes the appreciation of loveliness and beauty, such as music and nature, as an intrinsic part of life. And the text, I'm going to read the text to you because I think it's very beautiful. Life has loveliness to sell, all beautiful and splendid things, blue waves whitened on a cliff, soaring fire that sways and sings, and children's faces looking up, holding wonder like a cup. Life has loveliness to sell, music like a curve of gold, scent of pine trees in the rain, eyes that love you, arms that hold, and for your spirits still delight, holy thoughts that star the night. Spend all you have for loveliness, buy it and never count the cost. For one white singing hour of peace, count many a year of strife well lost. And for a breath of ecstasy, give all you have been or could be.